on TikTok are absolutely outraged, and why, you may ask? Well, it's because somebody is making balloons and charging a lot of money for it. It's really upsetting a lot of people. The comments are very angry, and I'm going to talk about it. As a small business owner who does set my own prices for custom work, I have a lot of things to say, and I have a lot of output to give to you guys. So what is this viral video that has everybody upset today? Well, it is a video of a balloon artist making custom balloons, and people are upset about her prices. And what is a balloon artist, you may ask? Well, I don't know, because I might have just made that term up. It's somebody who makes custom shaped balloons. And instead of trying to further explain and confuse you guys even more, I'm just gonna show you guys the TikTok that's making everybody angry this morning.
I've received a lot of really weird comments about my pricing in general, but especially the balloon mosaics. Someone commented and said, that takes less than 30 minutes to make, and you can get balloons from Party City for $5. And that's just simply not true. So if anyone out there sees this and they think that they can replicate this with Party City balloons and do it in less than 30 minutes, do at me, because I'd love to see it. So this is a custom color 5-foot balloon mosaic, and I charge $300.
This was uploaded one day ago, and it currently has almost 2 million likes. So just right off the bat, most people are probably thinking, wow, $300, that's outrageous. That's a scam, that is not fair. I know that's what many people are thinking, because that's what all the comments are saying. Let's just pull some up. For example, the top comment says, still not worth $300. So the small business owner responded saying, my pricing is based on cost of materials and labor. I've sold over 50 of them, so I can assume you're not in my demographic of customers. Somebody says, you're limiting your customer reach by pricing them so high. And they responded saying, I'm completely booked through December, I'm good. And then there are just so many other comments of people just saying like, oh, I was agreeing with you until you said $300. How are you just gonna scam this many people into paying $300 for something that is worth $30? And just like, it's a general consensus that people are mad. I have seen a couple comments on there defending her prices. This might upset some people right off the bat, but I'm gonna go ahead and defend her prices too. As an artist, as a small business owner, as someone who has experience making things by hand and pricing things that seem very expensive to some people, her prices are fair. And I will go into every single reason why I think that. So I'm going to be honest. I really love defending people's prices from the get-go, but with this particular instance, I was a little on edge at first. But then I really sat back and thought about it and compared to how I price things. As this small business owner said in one of her comment responses, she charges for supplies, materials, and labor. And there is another thing that goes into that price that I don't think she really mentioned in that comment. It's demand. Demand is a huge contributing factor to price. And she said that she's currently booked through December, which means her demand is high, which means that she has a good reason to have high prices. This is just where I want to kind of talk to some individual people here. So to the people who are saying that's a complete scam, it's not worth more than $50, they would never buy that. How could you charge so much for something that's worth so little? Listen, these balloons are not a necessity. You know, it would be unethical if someone is selling like groceries and they're price gouging, because obviously there's a big demand for groceries. Everybody obviously needs groceries. Nobody needs a huge balloon shaped in the letter of their name. It's just straight up a luxury. And when people are selling luxury items, things that you don't need, things that are just for fun, you can really price by demand. For example, when I first started selling custom pet portraits, I started selling paintings for $20 because that's what I thought it was worth. Nobody wanted to buy my art. I could only get $20 for my art. But over time, as I built up my clientele, as I kind of got more traction on the internet, as my Etsy store started becoming more popular, my demand went way up. Over time, my prices kept getting higher and higher and higher, so I could keep up with the orders I was getting. Eventually, as a small business owner, you're gonna come to a sweet spot where you're still making enough orders so you can work full time, but you're not overworking yourself. The more you raise your prices, the less customers you're gonna get. Like I said, you gotta find that sweet spot. And this business owner, I'm 100% sure she's gone through that process and found the price that works for her. And now you may be thinking, how in the world is the supplies and the labor worth $300? Well, let me break it down for you as well. I have no clue how much balloons cost, but what I do know is how much foam board costs. And as you may have seen in that TikTok, this small business owner makes backboards shaped like the letter that she's gonna form the balloons into. She makes those templates by hand. And I know that because I watched a couple of her other videos and she explained that. I also make foam board templates by hand. When I'm shipping very large paintings, I make boxes out of foam board. I'm literally just making rectangles out of foam board. And making a box out of foam board takes so much time. If I'm gonna make a box for one painting, that one box is probably gonna take me at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours, depending on how big the box is. So if I'm gonna go intricate and make a foam board box in the shape of an H, that's gonna take me many more hours than just making a rectangle. So I totally understand why that part would cost a lot of labor. That's hard work. You're like literally on your hands and knees box cutting things, measuring things, like paying a lot of attention to detail, making sure things line up right. That's hard work making foam core boxes. The harder you're working, the more you're gonna charge for your labor. And now we gotta think about shipping. I don't know if this person only works locally, but if they do ship their products, let me tell you, shipping is not cheap, especially when you're shipping large items. Now, this business owner said that her letters are about 5 feet tall. You know how much it costs to ship something that's 5 feet? A lot of money. So when you consider every single little detail like that, it really does all add up. Now, just going through some more of the comments, there are some that I really want to respond to. So somebody said, the prices isn't what concerns me. It's her attitude toward potential customers. Very unprofessional. Now, let me just say something here. Nobody who's angry about her prices would ever be a customer, even if she lowered them. If you're gonna be somebody who's gonna rip on a small business's prices, normally we don't want you as a customer. No matter how low our prices are gonna be, those people who are angry are probably never gonna be happy with the outcome. They're never gonna be happy with what they're paying. Those are usually the people who are gonna try to come back and get a refund, leave a bad review. Usually small businesses are kind of like, that's a red flag. Let's just stay away and avoid that issue altogether. So that's just what I want to say about that. Now, there are a lot of people comparing the price of this balloon to other things that they could buy for $300. This person said, sis, I saw Shawn Mendes up close last year for $268. Something ain't adding up. Somebody else said, you can fly across the country for $300. And you know, all those are facts. But you know what else? You don't need to buy these balloons. Taking an airplane flight is something where you just need to say, you just have to pay it or you're not flying. There's no other option. But for balloons, nobody needs balloons, like I said earlier. You either want it and you'll pay for it, or you'll say, you know what, I'll pass this time. Maybe you're gonna make it yourself instead. Very valid options. Now let me just compare it to something that I know very well right now. So as some of you know, I just got married. Weddings are not a necessity. I did not need to pay tens of thousands of dollars for a wedding celebration. That was a choice. We could have just gone to the courthouse and did it for like 20 bucks, honestly. We didn't hire a balloon person for our wedding. But if we were to, that sounds like a very competitive price. For example, our photographer, $1,800.
Oh my gosh, I could have flown across the country 5 times and back for $1,800.
Instead of doing that, I paid someone to come take pictures of my wedding and edit them and send me a photo album. People charge lots of money for things that are luxuries. A photographer is a luxury. Florists are luxuries. Wedding venues are luxuries. Things that are luxuries are going to be very expensive. I'm just imagining I'm going back in time 5 months. I'm planning my wedding. Say I want to hire someone to make pretty balloon garlands for the wedding. Say I want to hire someone to make a big S and a big C out of balloons for Sienna and Connor. Connor's my husband. Say I wanted to do something like that. And say I went out and reached out for quotes and prices and someone said, hey, we'll do that. And the total cost would be like $1,200. If somebody said that's the cost, then I'd say, all right, if I really wanted to have balloons at my wedding, I'm gonna pay that. Or I won't. Either way is fine. It's really that simple. Expensive does not mean overpriced. For example, if I'm gonna sell an 8x10 painting of a dog, that costs $120. Somebody else selling an 8x10 painting of a dog could be selling it for $50. That doesn't mean that I'm overcharging or I'm scamming people. That just means that that's the price that works for me and the other person is charging a price that works for them. That's just how business works, you know? get mad at huge corporations who are obviously price gouging because they're a monopoly or they know that they got people who are going to buy their product every single time, like Apple. But don't get mad at small business owners. These are people who are literally just trying to pay their rent and their mortgages. If she was truly overcharging for her balloons, she would not be getting any customers. And then there's other people who are gonna say,
Oh, well, it's just rich people throwing away their money.
okay, well, then let them do that. Why does that hurt you? I don't understand why people get so mad at small business prices. And then they have to go and leave really mean comments. If I were this person, if I were this TikToker, I would be so upset. I would feel so down on myself no matter how many sales I'm getting. Obviously, this person's booked for months because they said that, but that's not gonna make them happy. I have had people do that to me on TikTok, you know, like with my prices for pet portraits. And I try to just, you know, put myself in the mindset that I'm in for this video and say it like, oh, screw them, they can do what they want. But you know, it does hurt when someone's coming at you like that. Please just be kind. That's all I gotta say. Just be kind. Stop leaving mean comments. Let me know what you think. So I'm gonna leave. I hate outros, so bye guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. I love you. Okay, bye.